Hello, weeps. Welcome back. RaikouDoes RuneScape. I found it. It's number 2. The real one is the second one. The first one does not exist. I mean, it was made by the same dude, but it is not Troutman. This is Troutman. I found Troutman. I'm bringing 1,000 or 2 with me. And come up here. Okay. If you guys say so. Where is this? There's one of those here, isn't there? Pub, is that in the other RuneScape? That there's a bait shop here? I guess it is. It wasn't in old school, unless they have it here at the general store. No. Maple logs. Man. Where did you get maple logs around here, and why did you sell them to the general store? Are they worth more here than at the Grand Exchange? I don't know. Anyway. So it's not a bait shop. What is... What is that freaking L, dude? What is all this junk? I have no idea. Okay, anyway. Is there a bait shop in Varrock? Probably not. I gotta go to Port Sarim. I guess so. Let's go to Port Sarim. Oh, I love Troutman so much. That's gonna be the fishing track. Get ready, boys. Hang on. I want these runes. There's air runes up here? That's just one. But man, runes are runes, okay? Don't judge me. Get out of here. Grasshopper. Grasshopper is a good app. Game thing. I got it around Yule to teach me some programming for free, and I think it did a pretty good job. I learned the basic concept of a lot of pretty I don't want to say deep, but you'll know what I mean if I say deep stuff, right? Like some pretty complex programming what's that word? Not subjects, but concepts, right? Because I've already said the word concepts, my brain didn't want to do it again, but it taught me the basics of some pretty complex programming concepts, is the way you word that. And like it would go through and it would have you like that they were in little puzzles, right? And you would go through and make something move or make an answer a question in a certain way, and then eventually you got up to you made a little game of this balloon would fall, and as it fell it would get smaller, and you would have to tap it, and then it would bounce back up to the top of the screen and get regular size, and then it would fall back down and get smaller again. That was dope. You buy a fishing rod, a fly fishing rod, a harpoon, and how much is bait? 3 coins each, huh? You gotta buy it 50 at a time. I'm out of coins. Alright. At 298. I don't have enough coins. What? You simulate supply and demand? I didn't know that. How did I never know that? Let me know when you're... Dude, I'm not gonna need that much fishing bait. Why can I not use that teleport at the moment? Because I'm walking? Can you not just make me stop walking? I guess we're waiting on RuneScape 3 for that, huh? Ahaha. Funny. These tracks are so funky, dude. Love them. Love them. Alright, tools. Go here. Give me le rod, le bait. Let's go down and fish some actual fish, huh? Talk about fishing a bit, I guess. I guess the thing that it's showing here is that the ghost that's in the quest. I don't know, dude. So the first time that I can remember fishing, I would play Troutman now, but I started the video with it and it's only been 10 minutes since then, so for this one I'm not gonna do it, but every video from here on out, when I fish, Troutman is on a loop. Just warning you now. I'm catching more herrings and sardines, huh? I'm not complaining, but so the first time that I can remember fishing, we had those little ones that you click and they cast for you. Of course, because we were like little kids. Oh, no. This one. And we still somehow managed to get those caught in trees. But then we eventually, we would go up to my grandparents' either my mother's mother or my mother's father, and fish. And the first one that I caught was at my grandmother's, and it was a little bluegill. It could, I mean, it wasn't very big at all. It was like a baby. It could fit in my hand as a child without being over the bounds of my hand at all. But I was so proud of the thing. We took a picture. I held it up like it was a swordfish or something. I was so proud that I caught a fish. And then after that, I was pretty good at it. That is maybe the only thing that I've done that I've actually had patience for. Anything else that you have to have patience for, I would be forced to have patience, but not really have it, you know? But fishing, something about it, it just relaxed me so much. I never really got upset with the weight. And I can't remember if we had already moved in to live next to my grandfather at that time or not. I think we hadn't. I think that was just a long visit. But oh, these ones were a good transition, weren't they? That was satisfying. So everybody had went fishing that day. My sister, my parents, and my grandparents, and was one of his other kids there? I think one was. But halfway through the day, my grandmother and my mother, they had less patience than the rest of us did. But then my grandfather, they had caught a couple of regular sized fish, and called it a day. But I had seen a catfish. It was a pretty good sized one. I don't know how long this is. I don't know if you can tell how long it is, but it was probably about this long. I had seen it, and around the time that my father had went in, I had gotten a couple nibbles from it, and he was like, you know, we can come back out tomorrow or something, you know, we can always come back, why don't you just, it's getting kinda late, sun's gonna be down in an hour or so, why don't you just come in and eat some of the fish that we have caught? And I was like, no dude, I will not. You can now try to net anchovies. At some point. But I was like, no, I will not rest till I catch this catfish. We've met eyes. Who's my adversary now. And it was maybe like 15 minutes after everybody went in, I caught that catfish. And I don't know how it happened, but they had left another pole out there. So I was like, I am feeling lucky today. And whenever I caught that catfish, I had circled the pond. On one side there were a bunch of trees up like on one corner of it, so I couldn't go there, but I had gone everywhere else around it that I could, following that thing, and I eventually got it over here on the side. Near the road. Ah. But so close to the time that I caught it, I had seen a largemouth bass, mackerel, oysters, and caskets with a large net. Nope. As in a largemouth bass that was even longer than the catfish. I was like, I'm gonna catch that thing. And I had caught a little bluegill. About the size of the first one. It was pretty small. That was hanging out near it, right? And I don't know how I had the knowledge to do something like this, but like I kept the thing on the hook, and I was like, I'm gonna use this tiny fish to catch the big fish, because it just, whenever it had nibbled before, it just kept stealing all the worm. And I think the bluegill, I ran out of worms, so maybe that's why I decided to use it as bait. But I had caught the bluegill just with the hook, like it liked the shiny hook, and bit the hook. So I was using this bluegill as bait, just leading it around, and eventually the bass decided to eat it. It was like an hour after everybody had went in. The sun was about to go down, and I was just the happiest little kid ever. I had the 2 rods. I was holding them by cause they were heavy fish, and I was kind of real short at the time. I was holding them up like at my head level to keep them from dragging on the ground, and they still almost did, and it hurt my arms. And one of them ended up snapping one of the poles, so I had to wrap the string around my hand. Halfway up the hill, they had a long hill up to the actual house, and I got them in there. Well, I got up to the door and I knocked on the door, and my step grandmother, my grandmother that was married to my actual grandfather. And she came to the door, she opened the door, and she was like, "Oh my God, he did it." I didn't say anything, I just smiled, and I was like, "Yeah, told y'all I was gonna do it. I did it." I didn't say it, but I was thinking that. I was like, I did not stop. And I made it happen. And we ate like kings. Like relative kings. That night. Thanks to me. And I got the choicest cuts of the fish. They let me fillet it. They let me take the bones out. And I loved it. And then after that, I've been fishing. I went fishing a few more times over each year, a few years. I never really. That's right, because I was sitting over here, I moved the trash bin. I want to empty this thing. This brazier that I have. What are you guys are talking and I've been missing it. Yeet. Oh, they're talking about bosses. So, see, I never really caught anything noteworthy after that. That I can remember. And I tried. But I was always, every time, the one to stay after everybody left, just in case. And the one everybody would wait on to go back home. I even tried, whenever we moved back into a place next to my grandfather's with my mother in 2016, 17, one of those. I tried because he had this carp in that pond. It was blue, and that thing, even whenever I was a kid, was massive. It was probably between 5 and 10 years old at that time. And then whenever I came back, 2017, I was 19, 20. And he had gotten even, he was probably as long as I was at that time. He was a big boy. He did not like me because I'd been trying to get him. I tried to get him a lot whenever I was a kid. I think he recognized me. Because at carp, I have some pretty good memory. And you need my help, Giles. Let me drop some sardines. I probably can just drop one. This is a ring. 80 gold. Okay. So, whenever I came back and I saw him, whenever he turned around and saw me, he was in a shallow bit of water. He whipped his tail and splashed me with the water, and it was a couple of seconds after he had seen me, so he wasn't startled. He was just like, "Oh, it's you. Have some water." I never caught him though. Dude got the. I mean, if I did ever catch him, I probably would have just released him back into the pond because he was a legend. Everybody tried to catch him. Nobody ever did. But yeah. I need to, whenever this hand heals and I'm able to finally do something and make my own money for once, because I'll have 2 hands to use instead of just one. I need to get back into fishing because that was something that I really enjoyed, and I can get out into nature here a little bit. Kind of need to wait until it warms up a bit, because even though I can't feel it, it's still not good for my body physically to go out there when it's below freezing. But what are these people talking about? Anyway. Yeah, I love nature, love the outdoors. I don't get out into them nearly enough anymore. And that's something you just chill out, spend the day just breathing fresh air, and maybe you forage your own dinner from it, you know? I would... Oh, hang on. Need to scratch my hand. Because it's doing some good healing and itching like crazy. But I was excited whenever I started watching Twitch more than just for the NLSS. Started watching other people on their solo streams. Apollo, Dumb Dog, and his other friends, the Space Cops, Space Cowboys. They would never name themselves Space Cops, because all cops are bastards. The Space Cowboys of HC Justin and Co-Star and Chiblee and Jasky and Richard Hammer. It was nice that at that time Richard Hammer had gotten back into his fishing streams. So I got the... What is in there, dude? So I gotta do some cleaning. So this is something that you kind of want to do. I mean, you can do the things that you unlock whenever you unlock them. Like all these fish that I've been unlocking. Let's see, what am I at now? I'm at 19. So like at 20, I could go and try to fly fish some trout. But it wouldn't be all that fast. It's kind of best to wait until you're a couple to a few levels above the things you unlock to do them, for them to be time efficient. And especially at these low levels, I mean, you don't, if you go along with the unlocks, you don't get much of anything for the lower ones, and I want all of these fish to cook, you know, so I'm getting a bunch of these lower level ones to have some stuff that I won't burn as much of. So there's a little bit of strategy behind what you see I'm doing. Just keep doing the same thing for now. You do a lot of that later. You can kind of not do it early, but I like to just keep doing it, get the levels, and then later I'll have options to do things that are faster or things that are more money. So I'm kind of trying to do this in a little bit of a guide style, so I thought I would put some words behind my actions instead of just talking about random stuff. But yeah, I would fish vicariously through Richard Hammer, and then fishing would always be one of my favorite parts of hunting games. I've never really liked shooting anything in games that resembles anything that lives on planet Earth. Because I like Halo and Borderlands and stuff like that a lot, but not really other shooters, except for Spec Ops: The Line, because it did some nifty stuff. But so fishing was always one of my, if not my favorite part, one of the top 3 of things to do in hunting games. Because there's like, at least in the, I forget what the name of it was. The one that we had where there was a lot of stuff to do, but anyway. Loved watching Dick fish in real life, loved playing fishing games, loved watching him play fishing games. And then when the NLSS did it wasn't just called Fishing Simulator, was it? Cause I don't know, is there like a fishing simulator and then a Russian fishing simulator? Or were those two the same game? And Dick just went to other ponds when I saw him do it. Ow. Oh, please. I don't know, dude, but fishing's good. I've always loved doing fishing RuneScape and it being one of the highest skills that I have. And you're gonna see, until it gets into the later, like around 60s is when it starts getting just the taddest bit egregious. It doesn't really take too long to level up these skills. But it always felt like it took a lot longer. Back when I first started playing, I guess because like when I first started playing, it took a long time to walk around because it was on dial-up. But then the next session that I played it, whenever I was living with my mother at the place where we took all the cats, it always not rig. But it always felt like it took a lot longer, probably because I could only play for like an hour at a time, and then I had to take a break, come back and play an hour at a time, and then only like from whenever I got off of school until I think 11 was my curfew. Had to be in bed by 11, which was a lot later than most of my friends. Again, because my mother's awesome. My mama. But, like, I stayed between 40 and 60 for a good 3 or 4 months around that time. I did fishing a lot. I'd say about 70% of the time, but you know, I was also doing all the member skills for the first time ever. Enjoying those. But it shouldn't take long when I get there this time. I'm gonna do one more trip down here. It shouldn't take 10 minutes. What am I gonna do next time? I mean, I'm gonna cook all this stuff next time, right? And then probably go back to training magic with all this food. Yeah. Do it on some guards again. This time I have this kite shield, so I shouldn't take a butt ton of damage. Rank this cooking skill like crazy. I want to get that up to max level first on this one, because cooking is a good way to make money when it's high level. Or so I've heard. Maybe I could fund a membership by cooking. You never know. Oops. Yeah, this is going by pretty fast. It's a good song for this. Faster does it. Fish faster. I don't care if it's all sardines. Just fill the bag. Ah! Well, the spot went away anyway. Relax. Enjoy the music. Please. Okay, that one didn't. Yes, it did. I was gonna say it didn't register as going anywhere, but it canceled the action. Please stop. I love that this mouse is so sensitive most of the time, but not sometimes on RuneScape. Oh well. Let's go. Alright. Yeah, it's gonna be guards. Hang on. I actually have to do this. somebody needs to answer before I can end this video. Me no hi YouTube, hi mom, my dad is crippled, left our family 13 years ago. Okay. Thank you. Glorious. You speak for the whole clan, alright? They're all fine with it. These guys are pretty chill. I'm sure if I asked each one of them individually, you know, they would give consent. But I mean, it's just their text anyway, it'll be fine, right? Hopefully. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, click the like button so it's there for if you want to see more. Click the subscribe button. If you have anything to say, positive or negative, leave a comment below. I'll read it and I'll help out one way or another. And as always, I'll catch you next time. Okay, then they're not saying things. It'll be chill. Just next time.